The Intermountain Power Service Corporation is committed to supporting our local schools, communities, and the economies of central and south central Utah. Each year, IPSC's two 950-megawatt generating units provide 3 million megawatt hours of energy for communities in Utah and Southern California. The Intermountain Power Project ranks among the best of coal-based power plants in reliability, cost-effectiveness, and environmental responsibility. IPSC, honored to sponsor this sports broadcast.
More tournament action here from the sports complex in Spanish Fork. And now it's Kanab Cowboys and the Altamont Longhorns. Leading off for the Kanab Cowboys will be the visiting team, will be Sage Staton. She bats .407 on the season with 18 RBIs. And 2 home runs. Here's the first pitch. In from Foy. Ball 1. Oakley Foy in the circle for the Altamont Longhorns. Ball's inside. So the count's 2-0 for Staton. It's been a crazy day of softball here from in Spanish Fork. The grounds crew did an amazing job getting fields ready to play this morning. Did take a couple hours, so we're a little bit delayed. There'll be, as far as we know, 2 games following this one. So the winners will play. Actually, there's other teams waiting for the winners, so there'll be another game. And here's a hit out into right center field. Looks like it's going to drop in the hole, and it does. So Sage Staton will start the game off with a single for the Kanab Cowboys. Staton plays catcher for the Cowboys, so I'm guessing they'll do a hurry-up runner for Sage, and they do. So coming on the field will be number 14. That is Jensen, Gracie Jensen. So now up to bat for the Cowboys would be Reedhead. That's Jesse Reedhead. And Reedhead bats .316 on the season with 14 RBIs. Jesse plays at shortstop for the Cowboys. Here's Foy with the pitch. Pitches in, and that's going to hit the batter. Yeah, she's had ice water in her veins. She didn't even move. She just took the blow. So runners on first and second for the Cowboys. They start the game off the way they would like with a single and now a walk. So 2 people on for Riley Staton, who's now up to the plate. And Riley Staton bats .446 on the season with 20 RBIs. So no outs, runners on first and second. That pitch is going to be, that's going to be a throw over into the field. That will bring in, so they try the steal to third base, does Sage Staton, and she gets around and overthrow by the catcher, so an throwing error will score Staton as she comes in. 1-0 Kanab. Reedhead moves to second base. So Riley Staton up to the plate. Here's the pitch inside. And that's going to hit her as well. That's a second hit by pitch. So hit by pitch for Staton. She'll go to first base. Runners on first and second. No outs. And that'll bring up to the plate Katie Riddle. And Riddle on the season batting .524. Leads the Cowboys in batting average and 21 RPIs, including 1 home run. So she'll step up to the plate. Riddle plays first base for Kanab. The umpire will take their time. They actually did a hurry-up runner for the pitcher as well. So here's Riddle. First pitch from Foy coming up. Fouled off, strike 1 for Katie Riddle. So 1-0 Kanab. The winner will move on in the bracket. Here's the pitch. That one's going to be swung on inside, but fouled off. So it's going to be strike 2. 0-2 the count to Katie Riddle. Here's the 0-2 pitch from Foy. This is the one-loss bracket, so a loss to either team will end their tournament. Here's a fly ball. It's going to land. Oh, it's going to be a fair ball and then bounce out because it was past the baseline. So that's going to score a run and move runners to second and third. So that is going to be a base hit right over the first baseman's head for Katie Riddle. So she'll pick up a single, and she picks up an RBI. Staton will end up on third. Riddle will sneak over to second. So now runners on second and third with Becca Rogers up to the plate for the Cowboys. Rogers batting .346 on the season with 16 RBIs. So 2 singles, 2 walks for the Kanab Cowboys. Yep. So single, hit by pitch, and a single to start off this game for Kanab. I think they're checking on a player. It's behind the tree, and those of you watching understand we have a tree that obstructs that view of first base. It's great in the summer for the shade. And good to see the players up and moving around. So the first baseman. She'll walk over to the dugout, and looks like they might make a substitution. Let's see what they decide to do. Coach Long. Looks like she's got a limp on her right leg. So I think that'll be a substitution. And in the game will come number 12. Will come in the game. So 12 will substitute for, I believe, Riley Norton. But we're going to have to make sure. I'm going to put that down. And then I believe 12 will go to right field. 19 moves up. So Sydney Allred moves from right field to first base. That does not change the batting order, of course, but it does change the position of the players. And it means that likely number 12 for Altamont will bat. Jaylee Taylor will bat for Riley Norton. Here's your pitch. This is to Rogers. First pitch is in, and strike one. So again, runners on second and third. Up to bat is Becca Rogers. She's the right fielder for Kanab. There's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike two. 0-2 count. Pitcher's count for Rogers. Foy ahead. Again, the score 2-0. No outs. We're in the top of the first inning in the 2A softball one-loss bracket. Here's Foy with the 0-2 pitch. Gives Foy a little bit of room to try to hit a corner, and she does. She hits that outside corner and gets her first out of the game. Strikeout number 1. That'll bring up Taylor Janes. Janes for the Cowboys. If Michelle and Chad are watching, shout out to them. If they're here, they won't hear me at all. So Taylor up to the plate. She plays left field for the Cowboys. Pitch hits the outside corner. Strike one. Again, runners on second and third. 1 out for Altamont. Kanab already with 2 runs. Pitch is going to be fouled off by Janes. So 0-2 the count. Last 3 batters have been 0-2 on the count. Here comes Foy. Welcome Tyler Moss back to the broadcast, the money man. There's Foy with the pitch. That one looks good. Hit by Janes over to the shortstop. Run scores, cross-court throw. Nicely done by the shortstop, Abby Long, but a run does score, so Janes picks up an RBI on the play as Staton comes in with the run. 3-0 Kanab with 2 outs now. Allison Riddle with up to the plate, and Riddle bats .347, 25 RBIs. She leads the team in RBIs. That pass is going to be up. Here comes the play at the plate, in, and the throw from the catcher's long. So in for the score comes Katie Riddle, making the score 4-0, and that clears the bases for Allison Riddle. So ball 1 on the pitch count. So the first 4 batters in the lineup have scored, with the other 2 out. So 2 down, 4 runs on the board for Kanab. Here's the pitch. Hit, fouled off to the right side. That'll be strike one. Ball one, strike one. So we've been running back and forth all over the place today, trying to make all this stuff work. Here's the 1-1 pitch from Foy. Pitch is in, and strike two. Pitch in the upper strike zone. Swing and a miss. So Foy consistently ahead in the strike zone in these last 4 batters. After tagging a couple early on, Foy settled in nicely and starting to hit some of her corners, and there's another strike, and that's strikeout number 2 of the inning. So for the Kanab Cowboys, they score 4 runs on 2 hits with no errors and none left on. 4-0 when we hit the bottom of the first.
At Auto Farm Price Ford, we make it happen for you.
Auto Farm Price Ford has your next truck at the guaranteed lowest price. Auto Farm will not be undersold. The time to buy is now. Auto Farm has a huge selection. If you're in the market for a new or pre-owned Ford F-Series, including the unbeatable F-150, no one has more than Auto Farm. Find more great offers and all their inventory online at PriceFordSales.com.
At Auto Farm Price Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, we make it happen for you.
Test, 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 test. I had it too hot. There we go. You can hear me? Are we back? All right, we're back. We're headed down to the bottom of the first inning, and it'll be the Altamont Longhorns. Kanab scored 4 in the first half of that inning. The scoreboard says 3, but it is 4. And the Kanab Cowboys at pitcher will have Riley Staton. And now we welcome the money man, Tyler Moss.
There we go.
He just got done with the last game, Paiute and Sal Severe. And Sal Severe came back and won that one.
They came back and won. They were down a little bit and actually had some great play right at the end to end it. So double play.
So we'll get a bracket. I kind of lost my bracket for a second. And we'll talk. There'll be one more game after this one. So I believe there'll be the 2 winners will come back and play. There'll be 2 more games in 2A classification. Of course, Beaver and Enterprise, as well as Duchesne, and I'm trying to think of who the other one is. I'll figure it out when I get my bracket.
You're talking 2A losers
yep.
Bracket side?
No, championship bracket. So we've got Beaver and Enterprise, as well as Duchesne and Parowan. Okay.
Yep.
Okay, here we go. Top of the first. It'll be Tanisha Wiersma up to the plate for the Altamont Longhorns. Here's the first pitch. Fouled off back. Strike 1 for Wiersma. Wiersma batting .512 on the season. Comes into the tournament with 9 RBIs and a home run. So strike 1. Staton will pitch, hit over to the third baseman. Going to be a tough play, and they get it in time. Nice play by the third baseman, and that was Sage Brown as she threw it over to Katie Riddle for out number 1. I didn't think they had time.
I was going to say, I want to almost credit the first baseman there, too, at the stretch. That was an amazing catch there to get that out.
Yeah, I completely agree. Now up to the plate will be Abby Long, the shortstop for Altamont. Long bats .531, leads the team in batting averages, also chips in 15 RBIs per game as well. Staton, second pitch, and it's going to be nice base hit by Long as she hits between third base and the shortstop. She'll pick up a single, and Altamont has a runner on the bases.
Great hit there, right in between the two. No error there, just a good hit right between them.
So it looks like Michelle Barton is watching from afar, so I'm glad she's paying attention.
Shout out to Michelle Barton.
Yeah, we'll have to see. She'll have to give us a critique. Pitches up, ball 1 for Kinley Duncan, who is up the plate for Altamont. Duncan, and let's see, her batting average is .517, 17 RBIs on the season. She plays center field. Here's the pitch, and it might be in play. It is not. Out of play. That'll be a strike for Duncan. So I think Duncan was robbed of a home run in the game earlier.
Was she?
I believe so.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm. She
Was
had
that
one
the
over
diving
the
one
fence.
over the fence
Yep.
that we heard about?
Uh-huh.
Wow.
I believe.
That's an amazing play.
Don't quote me on that,
I'm
but
not
I think
going
so.
to, but
Here's another one hit up and to the left. That'll be out of play just barely as it hits the top of the bar. So it'll be strike 2.
Out came flying into the crowd there.
Oh, did it?
Well, no, it
about did.
It was close.
Yeah, that would have nailed those people sitting right behind the fence.
Mm-hmm.
So 2 strikes for Kinley Duncan. Here's the pitch from Staton, and that one's going to be a pass ball. Long will go to second on the pass ball, so no stolen base, just a pass ball. And the count, I think it's 2-2. I know it's 2 strikes. We'll see about the balls. See if the umpire will tell us what they are. Not quite yet. Here we go. Here's the 2-strike pitch. That one will be fouled off, so the count remains the same. Again, Kanab 3, and no score yet for the Altamont Longhorns, but Abby Long in scoring position for Altamont. She looks like she's playing for Kanab with her outfit the way it is.
I was just going to mention that, her dark jacket on.
Yeah.
I think she's cold.
Yeah, I think so.
So, the temperature's down there, but.
Full count for Duncan. Here comes the pitch. Payoff pitch is going to be over the head of the shortstop, so Duncan is going to score. No, not score a run. Great job by the left fielder as Taylor got that in quickly and stopped Long from the run.
That's the goal of that outfield right there, to get that in there as fast as you can so you can make plays if they are going to happen. Smart play, though, by the runner, as she was paying attention.
So Duncan hits 1. She gets a base hit, so 2 consecutive base hits. And runners on the corners for Altamont. Now up Oakley Foy. She put one out of the park a little bit earlier. That will be strike 1 as they try to see if Long is being a little aggressive on the bases. Did she pick up her? She didn't even pick it up. We'll make sure she gets it. No wonder. 0-1 count to Foy. And that ball's going to be low. Ball 1. 1-1 the count. 4-0 our score here. Kanab with the lead. Foy hits a big, towering fly ball. Back goes the left fielder. That one is up and caught at the fence. Great job by Janes. The tag up and safe at third, safe at home. So it is a sacrifice fly. But credit Janes for reaching over the fence and snagging that ball, robbing it away.
From this angle, it looked like Janes was going to have to actually dive and make that catch. She looked like she was getting ready to dive and then kind of was able to back off and just catch it. Great catch.
So Jaylee Taylor now will be up to the plate again. She replaced Riley Norton. Taylor has a hit to the first baseman, and this will end the inning. So the Altamont Longhorns do score 1 as Abby Long comes in on the RBI single from Oakley Fay. And so the Altamont Longhorns scored 1 run on 2 hits rather, with 1 person left on at the end of 1. 4-1 Kanab when we come back.
At Central Valley Medical Center, we're committed to offering the best care.
In your life's first moments.
Through your life's biggest emergencies.
In your everyday help.
In those days that mean the most.
Central Valley Medical Center will be there with you through each step and stage of life, bringing the best care because we care, closer to home.
Welcome back to Spanish Fork. Scott stepped away to grab some water. We'll jump right in here as they get warmed up.
All right, here we go. Top of 2. For the Kanab Cowboys, it is going to be the numbers 8, 9, and 1 batters. Sage Brown, the third baseman for Kanab, will lead off against Oakley Foy in the circle for Altamont. It's a little chilly out there now, Tyler.
The winds started coming in here, but you know what? I've been running back and forth. I'm sweating to death here as we moved setups and everything. So
well, tomorrow we'll be in the same booth. Here's the first pitch of the second inning. Swing and a miss. Strike 1 by Sage Brown. Brown on the season for the Kanab Cowboys. Batting .204. She plays third base for the Cowboys. Strike 2. Swing and fouled off. So the Altamont will take their time, have a short little conference. Brown steps back in the box. And off we go, 0-2. It's the pitcher's count for Oakley Foy. And a swing and a miss. That was a little bit high. So strike 1. First out of the inning goes to the Kanab Cowboys. 1 down. Now Jaden Rosser will check back in the box, up to the plate and from center field. And Rosser on the season. Looks like she bats .283. First pitch comes in for a ball. Ball 1. Rosser checks back with the coach. And will step back in the box. Here comes Foy. Pitches in, and did she catch the corner? She did not. 2 balls for Rosser. That was pretty close.
It was. Very close pitch there.
2-0 pitch, now a 3-0 pitch. So this is a little bit rare for Foy, as in the first inning she was ahead of the batters, especially in the latter part of the inning.
Now having to come back, that's a little trickier kind of mind game there for the pitcher as they attempt to come back.
Yep, now the pitcher has all the advantages. He can play around with the placement just a little bit. Foy comes in, and she just missed low. So first walk of the inning for Foy. And that puts Rosser on, and that leads us back to the top of the order with Sage Staton. Staton hit a single into right center, her first at bats. Rosser has 5 stolen bases on the season. She's on first. Pitch is going. They're going to try to get Rosser, and they got her. She's out. The tag was to the face, and Long immediately goes over and apologizes to Rosser. But what a beautiful throw by the catcher. That was just fantastic by Tanisha Wiersma.
Great throw there, throw down, as she was in place, little high. She just grabbed it and turned, and that's when it knocked the helmet off.
Yeah, the throw was just right there where the face of the player was. Certainly nothing cheap about it.
Nothing malicious.
So that clears the bases. Staton up at the plate. Here's the pitch. It's going to be hit up in the air, and just the first baseman can't quite get to it. Strike 1. Staton steps back in, the catcher for the Cowboys. Foy checks the armband. Pitch is going to be a strike. Hit high in the air, pop fly. The shortstop calls it off. Abby Long says, I got this one, and she does. So F6 is the third out of the inning. So for the Altamont Longhorns, no runs on 1 hit. Nope, not even a hit, just a walk. So no runs, no hits, no one left on. As we head to the bottom of the second, it's 4-1 Kanab.
Jones and DeMille Engineering is more than a civil engineering firm. They're shaping new opportunities for work and play, shaping the landscape in the rural Intermountain West, and shaping the communities that they're proud to be a part of. Their offices in Richfield, Manti, Price, St. George, Monticello, Springville, Roosevelt, and Tooele provide civil and structural engineering, construction management, surveys and GIS mapping, and material testing. Jones and DeMille Engineering, shaping the quality of life.
Welcome back, Scott Langford, Tyler Moss. It's the Kanab Cowboys and the Altamont Longhorns. 4-1. Kanab scored their first 4 batters scored, and then Altamont answered with 1. Now it's the top of the 3rd for the Kanab Cowboys. Excuse me, top of the, good heavens.
Top of the 2nd?
Top of the, bottom of the 2nd.
Bottom of the 2nd. Sorry, I was off too. Bottom.
For Altamont, bottom of the 2nd. So here we go. Bottom of the 2nd. Altamont up. For Altamont, that means it's batter 6, 7, and 8. That's Sydney Allred, the right fielder. She'll start us off. Allred on the season. Bats .375 with 9 RBIs. Pitcher is Staton still, and a little bit low, ball 1. You can hear some excitement on the other field. You can hear Pepper and Matt over there.
Excited over there with some stuff going on.
Yeah. Oh, she swings. Now, that's interesting because now she swung the bat, so I think it's going to be a foul ball. Had she not swung, she might have got a base on balls, but where she swung the bat, it's a foul ball, so it's just a strike 1. That hurts.
Yeah, you could see the pain immediately as she moved her hands right into the ball.
Even worse when it's cold.
Yeah, I can
only
imagine.
Here's the pitch, and hit deep into, nope, short, but it's in right center field and right between. That was just a great hit, just perfect placement, as neither the center fielder nor the shortstop could get back for that. That is going to be a base hit for Sydney Allred.
Center fielder took that, mandatory step back first and tried to make it up.
Yep.
And then both of them are essentially running to the wrong spot and unfortunately couldn't make it happen.
Now we've got Gracie Thacker batting .200, 7 RBIs on the season. And bunt, and it's going to go foul. That was very close. I thought she might have touched it.
It looked like her mitt was right there.
Right.
Making it a fair ball, but the umpire called it foul.
So strike 1. That keeps Allred out first base. Thacker steps in. Here's the pitch from Staton. Riley takes her time. Here's the pitch. And swing and a miss. Strike 2. 0-2 the count. So pitcher's count on Gracie Thacker, the left fielder for Altamont. Oh, that pitch gets away from Staton, and that will allow Allred to go to second base on the pass ball. There's not much that the catcher could do on that one. Sage Staton tried, but couldn't get it. Swing and a miss, strike 3. So a strikeout for Staton, and that's her first strikeout of the game. First out of the bottom of the 2nd as well. It's 4-1. Kanab with the lead over Altamont. Now up to the plate will be Reagan Miles for Altamont. Batting .250, 4 RBIs on the season. Here's a pop-up, and it's going to be the pitcher calls everyone off, and that will be a fly out, kind of an easy play for Staton.
I love the awareness of the pitcher. She knows where the runners are. She called them off. The communication's great. That was key. I mean, she turned immediately, knew where that runner on second was, and basically just made sure she was back there.
Allred stays in scoring position, and you've got Riley Allen up. This is batter number 9. Pass ball is going to allow Staton to go over to third base. and she'll go in standing up. And so even more dangerous scoring position on the pass ball. Seen a few pass balls, but, I mean, this is already game number 3 for these teams. This is rough.
Game 3 in a tournament gets hard.
It's game 2, actually.
Is it game 2?
But still, it's still long.
Yeah, it's still. I mean, it's a long day, rain delay, all that stuff.
And there's a hit, going to be a base hit. That'll score a run. So Riley Allen in the 9th position steps up and knocks a single into right field.
Great hit, just right over. I mean, the first baseman jumped to try and catch it and unable to get that.
That moves us back to the top of the order, Tanisha Wiersma. And sometimes, the 9th batter's overlooked, but how about the 9th batter stepping up with an RBI?
That's great.
So that makes the score 4-2 as Altamont closes the gap. Swing and a miss for Wiersma. That was just a little high. She didn't like it. Afterwards, she looked at her coach and Coach Long and said, "Oh man."
Those are the ones that everyone swings at, though.
Oh,
I know you were debating those earlier. But
we were. They're the ones everybody likes.
Everyone likes those. They're right in your eyes. Down in
so
the
that's
going
to be ball 1. 1-1 the count on Wiersma. She's 0 for 1 in this contest. She hit the third baseman last time up. There's a foul ball. So this count is 1-2. Just a reminder, you can watch all the games on Centricom Channel 10, all throughout the whole 2A and 3A tournament. Happy to have you along. There's a hit, going to be to the second base. Second base knocks it down nicely over for the out. So Wiersma gets thrown out 4-3 for the third out of the inning. So for Altamont, they score 1 run on 2 hits with 1 left on. And at the end of 2 innings of play, it's Kanab 4, Altamont 2.
Nephi Federal Credit Union in Nephi offers convenient service and a variety of financial services. They're your hometown credit union that's been serving local residents for over 63 years, longer than any other financial institution in Nephi. The staff invites you to check out their incredible rates on a variety of loans and savings accounts. Nephi Federal Credit Union, 155 North Main in Nephi. Call 623-1895. That's 623-1895. Nephi Federal Credit Union, proud supporter of the Wasps this season.
Welcome back, Scott Langford, Tyler Moss. And we're heading to the top of the third inning. It'll be the Kanab Cowboys 2-3-4 batters. That's Jesse Reedhead, Riley Staton, and Katie Riddle will lead off. Foy in the circle for Altamont. She doesn't need a whole lot of time. She's already played some games. So she's warmed up.
She's warm. Even though it's cold out there, she's warm.
That's right.
Throwing a few pitches here.
Yeah, well, she had to wait for the catcher, who was the last batter, so it slowed things down just a bit. So no errors for the Cowboys in that one. There was one runner on, right? One runner left on
base.
And none on that one. So 4-2 our score. Kanab with the 2-point lead. And here comes Reedhead to the plate. Reedhead takes a hit to the second baseman, and it'll get under the glove of the second baseman into right field. And Reedhead's going to try to stretch it too. She's able to do so. So an error on Altamont leads to a base runner for Kanab.
Yep, just didn't get that glove in the dirt. Rolled right through, and right fielder hung on to it a little longer than needed to and able to get to second.
So Riley Staton, the pitcher, up to the plate. Last time up, she was hit by a pitch. There's the pitch. It's in, and strike 1. Kind of waited. I wasn't exactly sure. It looked good from here, but you never know.
Bottom corner there.
Yep, that's right.
Looked good.
So the two pitchers facing off. Staton behind the plate this time, at the plate. Here's the pitch from Foy. That's a strike. Going to be a base hit by Staton. She helps herself out into deep right center. And coming around the corner is Reedhead. She will score. So an RBI for Riley Staton as she picks up a single.
Nice single hit there, just right in between second and short. Bringing that, running another run.
Home run on the other field. Katie Riddle up to the plate for Kanab. Last time up, she hit a single. And this time, inside, ball one. She made a small adjustment to not let that ball clip her thighs.
Very small. I was just going to say, there's been a few of them that don't even flinch. They just stand there, and I'd be out of there.
Yeah, I might too. 1-0 the count. Here's the pitch, and it's in there. Strike. Fouled off back into the backstop. 1-1 the count. Do you have a score over there on that one?
I'll get one.
Let me just look and see. Let's see. Oh, we're all tied up. So that's Gunnison and North Severe. Wow. Riddle puts that one clear out. But unfortunately for her, out of play. Strike two, 1-2. Gunnison, North Severe, all tied at 2 on the other field. There was a home run just a second ago, so 2-2 the count. 1-2 the count. Riddle hits to the second baseman. That takes a tough hop, but another error on the Altamont Longhorns. Here comes the throw, overthrown, and now she's going to run home on the throwing error. No play at the plate, so that'll push Katie Riddle to second base, and that gives a score to Riley Staton, and Riddle picks up an RBI.
Yeah, that bad hop just right kind of almost into the palm of her glove and bounced around and unable to make that happen at second base.
The field's showing no love to the second baseman tonight. That's rough.
You can blame it on the field. Yeah, that's.
Well, that was a tough hop.
That is a tough hop, absolutely. Coming
here's
fast.
Here's Becca Rogers, the right fielder, up and looks like it might have caught the corner. Did not. A little bit low must have been. Ball one. Again, we can see right and left, but up and down is not our deal. Plus, we would never criticize the umpires, right?
Never.
No. Pitch is in for a strike, 1-1. So on second base is Katie Riddle with Becca Rogers, the right fielder, with a 1-1 count. Here's the pitch from Foy. Did she catch the corner? She did not. A little bit outside. Ball two. 2-1 the count. That was close.
It was. That just on the right, that outside, barely outside corner. She would have had to reach a little bit.
She would have. Definitely a right field hit only. Here's the 2-2 pitch, and it's going to be hit over on the right side. Out of play. Not out of play. Out of reach of the first baseman. First baseman had a nice angle at it, but unable to get over. 2-2 now the count. We're in the top of the third. For some reason, I can't get out of my mind. I've got Kanab as the home team. It's the strangest thing. I even know they're not, but I can't stop thinking it. Pitch is outside. So full count to Becca Rogers. Here's the payoff pitch coming for Rogers from Foy. Already a runner in scoring position at second. Here it is. Wind up and the pitch, and that one will be inside. Ball 4. Make a play at second, but she's safely back. So a walk to Becca Rogers. She'll go to first. Now Taylor Janes up. No outs yet for the Cowboys. Janes in their last at bat. Hit to the shortstop. Great throw by the shortstop Long. Taylor's grandma organized a blood drive that Milford Memorial Hospital did yesterday. They got 30 units of blood, and it was just a fantastic time.
It was, actually. I was there, able to join in on the fun.
Pitch is low, ball 1. Anyway, yesterday at Milford, they were just throwing strikes for the Red Cross. So just home runs, I should say. Hitting home runs. So the employees of Milford Memorial Hospital organized that blood drive, and it was wildly successful. So really great job by Michelle and the gang. Janes with a strike, 1, as she swings a little bit inside. So 1-1 the count. You know, she's married to a guy we call the Wizard.
The Wizard?
The Wizard, yep. He found his home at Hogwarts, so. That one's outside. Ball 2.
I was going to say
I wonder if Taylor Janes here up to the plate calls him Grandpa Dumbledore. Maybe.
I was thinking about the door he broke on the other ride. That's why I was thinking the Wizard.
Yeah. 2-1 the count. Strike 2. Yeah. Apparently Dumbledore doesn't follow directions. He leaned when he should have stood.
Lots of inside jokes going on.
Anyway, 2-2.
Michelle, shout out to you and your family.
Appreciate all you do. And fouled off, so the runners stay at first and second. Again, no outs. Kanab's up 6-2. We're in the top of the third. I even got it right that time.
Top of the third. You're correct. No outs.
Here's the payoff pitch to Janes. Oh, no, just still 2-2, I think. Pitches in, looks good, and that one's going to be hit into right center. That will drive in 1 run, possibly 2. So coming in is Riddle. She'll score, coming around the corner, and they don't try to make the play at the plate as Riddle and Rogers score. That's a 2 RBI double for Taylor Janes.
Roll into the fence. They didn't have enough time to make any plays happen there as they make it throw in there.
Just 2, I believe. Yep, runners on first and second. So now up to the plate will be Allison Riddle. Riddle is 0 for 1 in this contest. Here's her second at-bat. She's got Janes in scoring position. Popped up. That's trouble for the right field. That's going to drop in for a base hit as well, as Janes will move to third. Runners on the corners for Kanab.
Great hit there. Good placement. I mean, just right fielder unable to make the play happen.
So the score is 8-2. No outs. Yep. Janes on third. Riddle on first. Now we've got Sage Brown up to the plate. And it looks like Coach Long wants to talk about it. He'll walk out. We'll take a break while he has his conference.
Maybe he landed here totally by coincidence. But if by chance he's admiring your fresh coat of Benjamin Moore soft sky blue, well, that's a pretty high compliment. Coming from an expert.
All right, after the conference from Coach Long, Oakley Foy ready to go. Again, runners at the corners, no outs. And up to the plate will be Sage Brown. She's 0 for 1 and ready for another opportunity. This is the last batter before the, well, nope, there's one more before the Kanab Cowboys bat around. So 5-8. Let's say it's going to be 8-9-1. And then we let off with number 2. Here's the first pitch from Foy. Pitch is going to be, it'll be a stolen base. They almost got Janes. Janes got a little bit aggressive. Ball 1. Janes took off. She had to dive back.
She did. She had to dive back far. I like to credit the catcher there, though, because she threw it. She could have just thrown it to second, but nobody was even there, so she was paying attention, threw it to short.
Well, that's a design play. So what they do is they bring it over so she's closer so she can do either one. That'll be a strike, 1-1. But I don't think Long had the third baseman hadn't dropped back to the base, so they didn't get a chance on Janes. And I think that's one of the reasons Janes was so far up the baseline. Second pitch is going to be, I believe, low. That's ball 2. 2-1 the count. Again, 6-2. We're in the top of the third. This is a number 8 and a number 11 seed. Kanab, the lower seed, with the lead currently. Here's the pitch, and low again. Pretty much the same placement. So 3 balls, 1 strike for Sage Brown, the third baseman. You've got Janes on third, Riddle on second. And here's the 3-1 pitch. That's low again, same spot. That'll be a base on balls. So she'll move to first. The bases are juiced for Jaden Rosser, who walked in her last attempt. Rosser. No. I'm going to have to get a number here.
Is it a substitute?
Might be.
20?
20. So this is a substitution. Crystal Martinez.
She's subbed in for
Jaden Rosser. Second pitch is in low, and here comes the batters. That will be a score for Taylor Janes. Yes, she'll score. And the runners move to second to third. So Riddle to third and Brown to second. So Martinez with the 2-0 count. Pitch to Martinez. Low again. Foy just missing low. Might be a little bit of fatigue, just releasing the ball a little bit too soon. 3-0 the count. There's the pitch, and that one's going to be low as well. So the base is back to being loaded. Another base on balls. And that loads them up. Now coming up to the plate, the leadoff batter will be Sage Staton. Sage Staton. That's terrible.
Sage Staton.
Yeah, Sage Staton.
12.
This is your catcher for the Kanab Cowboys. Still no outs in this one. The Kanab Cowboys scored 4 in the first. And now 5 in the second. 9-2 our score. Oh, what a beautiful play. At the plate, they got the leadoff batter. Nice job by the third baseman, as she'll get the leadoff batter.
Great
so
play.
5-2 for 1.
Just, reactionary, but great. Just stuck the mitt out there, caught the ball. And
I've always been a little bit nervous having the girls jump up like that on the on the other side. That's really close.
They're close. They're really close.
So the base is still loaded, 1 out. It's 9-2 our score. Here's the pitch, and fouled off, strike 1. Second time in the inning to bat for Jesse Reedhead. Oh, and 1 the count. Here's Foy. And there's a hit, and that's going to be a base hit into right center field. And that will score 1. Coming around is number 2. So scoring will be Allison Ridley as well as Sage Brown. That'll move Martinez to third. Actually, that's not true. So we got runners at the corners. So that one scores as well. So we got Staton at 3 and Reedhead at 1. And now we've got Riley Staton up to the plate. She hit a single earlier in the inning. There's 21, a deep, high, long fly ball. That one's out there. It's gone. A home run for the pitcher, Riley Staton. And she hits a 3-run home run that will clear the bases for the Kanab Cowboys.
You could see that coming off the bat. It was
no
just
question.
That was no questions as they play bowling ball into the pins at the home plate. What a great hit out there to bring in a couple more runs.
Yep. So runs in the game, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 in this top of the third. The score is now 14-2. And that'll bring up Katie Riddle. Riddle got on an error and then hit a single in the first inning, so she's 1 for 2 in the afternoon. I guess it's evening now.
Into the evening. It's about 8 o'clock almost.
14. And a foul off for Riddle. Yeah, 14. So 0-1 count to Riddle. And we have one out. Mm-hmm. And there's the pitch, and Riddle hits to second baseman. This one over for the out. So that's out number 2. 5-3 play for the out number 2. We'll bring up Becca Rogers. Rogers walked in her previous attempt, and she's 0 for 1. .27, just making sure we've got the right one. Yep, Becca Rogers, the right fielder up. She's the number 5 batter for Kanab. Pitch is a little bit outside. Ball 1. That was close. I think the umpire looked at it for just a second, but I think he was right. I think it was about 4 or 5 inches outside. Rogers with a strike. 1-1 to Becca.
Right on that bottom inside corner.
Yeah.
Catcher unable to catch it. It bounced out of her glove. Strike.
I was waiting for the strike call. Here's the pitch. That one looks good. That one's up there again. Deep fly ball to right center, and it's up. Going to hit the fence, and it'll be a stand-up double for Becca Rogers. Nicely hit to almost another home run for Kanab, but she'll hit a stand-up double.
Great hit.
Yeah. I'll bring up Taylor James. She hit a double to almost the same spot.
She did.
Her last time at the plate. So 2 down in the top of the third. It's been quite an inning for Kanab. We'll have to total it up. There's a hit into left field. That's going to be a base hit as well. And another runner's coming around, and that's going to be run number 15 as Becca Rogers comes in and scores, and that will be another double for, actually just a single for Taylor James. Yeah, she does make it to second base, but she gets a single. And that'll bring up Allison Riddle. Riddle was thrown out at home. She got the single, but she was thrown out at home and did not get the score. That's going to be a ball low. Ball 1 for Riddle. Here's Foy with the 1-0 pitch. That one's right down the middle, strike 1. So 1-1 the count. Allison saw that one. Took a healthy cut at the strike.
Great cut.
Here's the pitch. Might have got the corner. And she did. Strike 2, 1-2 the count. I wondered for a second.
I'm waited patiently.
Pitch is right down the middle. That one's going to be back to the pitcher, and Altamont finally out of this inning. And they're happy to be out of that one. And so for the Kanab Cowboys, they score 11 runs on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hits. So 11 runs on 6 hits with 1, 2 errors and 1, 2, just 1 left on. So as we head to the bottom of the third, 15-2 Kanab when we come back.
San Pete Steel in Moroni was founded in 1994 and is one of the major steel construction companies in the Intermountain West, specializing in structural steel fabrication and erection. San Pete Steel's impressive portfolio includes the Hale Theater in Sandy and structures on the campuses of the University of Utah, BYU, and UVU. San Pete Steel in Moroni, where their motto is done right and on time, at 685 East Main in Moroni. Call 800-261-1026, 800-261-1026, or sanpetesteel.com.
Score over there, Tyler. Let's update it.
You're up.
Welcome back. 15-2 as we head into the bottom of the third inning. And for the Altamont Longhorns, it's going to be 2-3-4 batting for the Longhorns, and it will be Abby Long will lead off. She's the shortstop. Last time she hit into deep, she hit a single into left, into just straight left field. Altamont's got to score a bunch of runs this inning to get back in this ball game.
Still a 2-2 score on that other field.
Nice, 2-2. Boy, that she got all of that one. Just unfortunately was over her shoulder on the left side. Foul ball, out of play.
Went over into the other field, looks like. Oh, it bounced back now.
So 2-2 on the other field. So Long steps back in. That'll be a ball. So 1-1 the count for Long. It sounds like that other field is just kind of going crazy. Lots of stuff going on. Here it's 15-2. Long with a 1-1 count. Pitch is high, 2-1 the count. Tyler, tell me what's going on over there.
There's
Gunnison baiting a throw.
Yeah, it looks like there's some pickles going on and trying to get some runners at home there.
There's a beautiful hit by Long. It's knocked down by the shortstop, but that's a base hit by Abby Long. As that one's tough. Now a grand slam, so 6-2.
Grand slam. I just walked over from there. And
Yeah.
It's 2-2.
Yep.
Bases loaded.
So who's up to bat?
Yes.
So Abby Long moves to first base. The leadoff batter on board. And now coming up will be Kinley Duncan. So Gunnison just hit a grand slam to go up 6-2 over North Severe. And then now Long will steal the base. She'll move to second. And ball one for Kinley Duncan. Duncan, her last at bat, hit into left field for a single. Pitch is up, hit deep, well, very high. It's going to be a tough spot for the center fielder. What a beautiful catch by the center fielder.
Amazing catch. That was
awesome. Was just absolutely incredible, and that'll be out number 2. As there was no tag up by Abby Long from second base, and she would have had to go out. But what a fantastic catch, seriously fantastic, by the center fielder, Martinez.
Great diving catch. Just she put herself right in that right spot.
Well, no, Long did not tag up. She's saying she tagged up. She did not tag up. So that's an F8, and that's going to be a 1-2-6, I believe, 4-2-1. And now Oakley Foy up to bat with 2 down for the Altamont Longhorns. Not only did Martinez get to the ball, but then she held on after that. I mean, she had her mitt fully extended. That's a tough catch to make.
That's a very tough catch. But she not only she got that and stood up and threw it in. I mean, there was still stuff happening.
Yeah, she's holding her side.
Yeah.
Foy with a swing and a miss. Strike one. Nope. I'm going to have to go back on that. 1-1. Yeah, we're talking about we need a hot dog amazing catch. I kind of agree. Something like a sour patch or something. Yeah. There's going to be hit on the left side. Can the shortstop make the throw? Cross? No, not in time. But very close. And so a runner aboard for Altamont.
Splits on the first base there by, what's that, Katie Riddle? Is she the first?
First baseman is number 3. Yep, Katie Riddle, you got it. Now to the plate comes. I don't. So back up to the plate will be. Now I still think this. We have a sweatshirt on. So Jaylee Taylor. I mean, I can't promise that's correct. I think so. she came in for Riley Norton, who was injured on the play. It might be Norton, we can't tell, and that's going to be an easy play at second base. Beautiful throw by the catcher for the Kanab Cowboys. Sage Staton, and she just drilled it down there. They had a step to go, too. Just a great play.
Just really good play. They were ready for it. Made it happen.
So it's the most interesting 3-up, 3-down of the day. And so that'll be no runs on one hit with none left on. And at the end of 3 innings to play, it's 15-3, Kanab on top.
Beaver Valley Hospital continues to offer high-quality health care at the state's lowest price. Beaver Valley Hospital has state-of-the-art laboratory and radiology services, including cutting-edge X-ray and 3D ultrasound. The hospital also provides expanded surgical procedures for orthopedics and laparoscopic hysterectomy. Remodeled patient rooms and long-term care facilities combine with compassionate staff to provide our patients a comfortable and healing environment. Beaver Valley Hospital is a proud community supporter and is pleased to sponsor Beaver High School.
Welcome back. So here we go. We're coming down to the bottom, the top of 4, correct? Top of 4.
Top of 4.
Okay, top of 4. Leading off for the Cowboys in the top of the 4th inning will be Sage Brown. So it's 8-9-1 for the Cowboys. Sage walked and struck out, so she's 0 for 1 in the contest with the walk. Brown at the plate. Here's the pitch, and looks good. Strike 1. I got to get over to that other field. They're like controversy. They're debating if it's a home run or not, all that kind of stuff. This pitch is up and out, so 1-1 the count for Sage Brown. She plays third base for the Cowboys.
Still debating over there whether I think there's debating of a home run or something on that field.
And that, nearly a hit up the right field line, but just a little bit wide right. Count goes to 1-2.
Gunnison North Severe. 8-2 for Gunnison still.
So they've scored 6.
Correct.
So the Grand Slam plus 2 more since we looked.
Correct.
So Gunnison on a roll. What are those seats? There's the pitch, and going to be hit to the second baseman in the hole. That is a base hit for Sage Brown. Gets her first hit, and she's aboard. Leadoff batter on the base path as we head down to Martinez. Martinez with that awesome catch in center field on the last inning.
Gunnison came into the tournament as 4th, seeded number 4, and North Severe number 10.
Okay, 4 and 10. Here's the pitch. That looks like it hits a corner, and does. Strike 1 for Martinez. Sage Brown held at first.
And just as a reminder, Altamont number 8 and Kanab number 11.
No, wait a minute. Why did they? Oh, never mind. Wait, what happened?
I'm not sure.
So that would be a ball. Did you see what happened there? Why did we lose a base runner? Did she leave the base too early, I would guess?
My guess is she left too early.
Okay, so 1. So a caught stealing. So 1 out for the Kanab Cowboys. I did not see that happen. There's an outside foul ball down the right field line. That's the only thing it could be.
Yeah.
Where the field ump said, you left early, you're out. So we lost our base runner. It's behind a tree, so I can't really see.
Happened pretty quickly.
I just know we lost one. Martinez with a 1-2 count. Pitch is in and going to go right up the line. This will be a tag out for Martinez. So it'll be a U3 for out number 2. Back to top of the order, Sage Staton up for Kanab. So here we go. Staton in the game, 2 singles and a fly out to the shortstop. So she's 2 for 3. First pitch comes in low, ball 1. Kanab had an 11-run third inning. Here's the pitch, and swing and a miss. Well, no, swing and a foul off. 1-1 the count for Sage Staton.
2 outs.
Yep, 2 outs in the game. In the inning, rather.
And we're at the top of the 4th.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Here's the pitch, and fouled off. That's moves the count to 1-2. Foy's got to be tired. That's a lot of pitches.
We don't have a pitch count here in front of us, but it is a lot of pitches and added up over the day.
She'll be icing tonight, I'm guessing. And strike 3 as Staton caught looking. So after all of that, we have no runs on 1 hit, no one left on, and no errors. So heading into the bottom of 4, it is 15 for Kanab, 3 for Altamont.
Castle Valley Orthodontics specializes in state-of-the-art digital radiographs and 3D dental models. It also offers interest-free payment plans starting as low as $99 a month. Castle Valley Orthodontics will be there with you from beginning to end.
Hi, I'm Dr. Dan Cowley with Castle Valley Orthodontics. Born and raised here in Carbon-Emery County, been able to move back home. Looking forward to meeting everybody of Carbon-Emery County coming in to see us.
Welcome back as we head down to the bottom of the 4th inning. It's Kanab up big, 15-3, and Altamont a little bit desperate to put some runs on the board. So for the Altamont Longhorns, it's going to be batters, looks like 5, 6, 7. So again, we think Jaylee Taylor. We're not sure because of the sweatshirt. Can't see a number, but we're assuming it's Jaylee Taylor. If it happens to be Riley Norton, we apologize to all the Nortons.
She's cold. So.
Yeah, it is cold out there. So here's the pitch. On the mound remains Riley Staton, and it's going to be fouled off on the left side. Strike 1.
Quick score update over on the Gunnison North Sevier side. Gunnison 9, North Sevier 2, top of the 3rd.
Wow. Pitch is in and down, ball. So 1-1 the count. That's going to be a base hit. Nicely done by Jaylee Taylor. And that will be a double. So a stand-up double for Taylor. So the leadoff batter, and we've seen that a lot in this game. We've seen leadoff batters on almost every inning. It's pretty close.
We have, yep, they're making it through their batting orders.
And not necessarily the leadoff batter, meaning batter number 1. It's just throughout the order.
Right.
The first batter's been getting on. Now we've got Sydney Allred. Last time up, she hit a single to deep right center. Here's the pitch. And she hits it out of play on the right side. Strike 1. Can you show me a bracket?
Yep.
Let's talk a little bit about what's upcoming here.
Sure.
We've got 2 more games tonight in the 2A classification and the 3A classification as well. So those 2 more games will be, that's a ball 1. So 1-1 the count on Allred. So the 2 other games are going to be.
So right now you're playing a North Sevier.
So it'll be the winners of, let's see, so South Sevier will be playing
North Summit.
Millard.
Millard, excuse me. I knew that. Millard.
South Sevier will be playing Millard.
Correct.
And then it will be the winner of this game playing the winner of that game.
Correct.
So the two winners play.
So
I don't know what the count is. Here we'll check it out. That's a foul ball. Hopefully the umpire will let us know. I think he will. Those 2 strikes. There's at least one ball. Was it 2 and 2? I couldn't see his other finger. I could only see one, and it wasn't the one I wanted to see. Another foul ball, so that'll be the count will remain where it is. Sydney Allred, 1 for 1 in the evening. Shadows getting long. Lights are on. Beautiful summer evening in the 40s. Here's a pitch over to the shortstop. Makes the play over to first base. And that'll move the runner to third base.
Great play by the shortstop.
6-3-1. So Gracie Thacker now up to the plate. She's 0 for 1 on the afternoon. She's a left fielder. Thacker with a bunt back to the pitcher. Very nice space, and it's up, and I'm not sure that they're going to be out at first either. Safe at home, so a run scores for the Altamont Longhorns.
And he called her out at first.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, I'm not so sure. I think we all thought she pulled her foot on first base. But what a beautiful bunt. Regardless, that's just an exceptional bunt. And they're going to appeal, and they're going to say, nope. They're going to say it's okay. So Reagan Miles, 0 for 1 on the evening. She's up to the plate. One out. Over there, that will be an error, as Reagan Miles will get on base, and she'll go to second base. Now she thought about going to 3, but she'll stay at 2.
Just an overthrow.
It was Norton. Taylor, I think.
Okay, so then Allred lay down the bunt.
Up next to bat.
Right.
Number 6, Riley Allen. She had a single in the second inning.
And there's a hit back to the pitcher. She'll catch that, and that'll be the third out of the inning. So Altamont will get one back, but it'll be the Kanab Cowboys up to bat when we come back in the top of the 5th inning.
Vince Lombardi once said, "The measure of who we are is what we do with what we have." The quote rings true whether applied to our country, our schools, our homes, or on the field of play. We applaud our student athletes for their hard work and determination on the field and in the classroom. Brought to you by Sunrise Engineering, promoting excellence in sports and education. Visit us at sunrise-eng.com. That's sunrise-eng.com.
We're back. First batter up and hit to the second baseman. That's an easy one, and that's an out as Reedhead hits 2-4-3 for out number 1. Now Riley Staton will come up for the Cowboys in the top of the 5th inning. Cowboys will need to hold a 10-point advantage to end this one. Altamont will have their last bats. If they cannot score more than 10, the game's over. Here's the pitch. It's going to be a hit to the shortstop. Long, fielded cleanly across, and will be out barely in time. Long had trouble with the transfer on that. She couldn't get it out of her mitt.
Yeah, it was it felt almost like a hesitation, but yeah, she was getting it set to throw and still got it.
Yep, Katie Riddle up to bat for the Cowboys. Riddle 1 for 3. Has scored twice in the game. Foy remains in the circle for Altamont. Pitch is up and going to go to the second baseman for the out. And just like that, 3 up, 3 down. That was the quickest inning of the evening for the Altamont Longhorns. They have one more chance, Tyler, and they've got to score at least 2 to stay in the game.
They do, yep, and here they come.
Okay, we'll be back after this with bottom of the 5th.
I'm Dr. Sorensen. I'm a board-certified pediatrician, and I'm the newest addition to the team of doctors here at Central Valley Medical Center. My goal is to work closely with you when making decisions about your child's health. After all, you know them better than anyone else.
I think as a mom, it can be really overwhelming to find a doctor who's a really good fit for your family. I look for someone who I can trust. It's so validating and comforting knowing that I can call and get the answers I need from Dr. Sorensen and his staff.
I look forward to meeting you and your child and bringing you the best care closer to home.
Leadoff batter. Batter number 1 will be Tanisha Wiersma, and she will lead off for Altamont. She's 0 for 2 on the evening. Again, the Altamont Longhorns have to score 2 to stay in the game. Score is 15-4. The winner of this game will play the winner of Gunnison and North Severe. Looks like Gunnison with a pretty good size lead there, so most likely it will be Kanab and Gunnison, barring a huge comeback. It's possible. Kanab scored 11 runs in the 3rd inning on Altamont, so
totally possible.
It's not completely out of the realm of possibilities. But it will have to be, I think, they have to score 2. So you got your top of your order coming up. 1, 2, 3 coming up. Here is Wiersma. Here's the pitch from Staton. Swing and a miss. Strike 1.
Not completely out of reach. They scored 2 in the last inning.
Yep. Pitch is going to go to the fielded cleanly by the second baseman. Nice pickup by the second baseman, Allison Riddle. She'll throw over for the first out of the game of the inning. 4-3-1. Abby Long up next. She's 2 for 2 in the game, 2 singles. The shortstop for the Longhorns. Pitch is in. Ball 1. It's kind of crazy how that came in. That was a different kind of pitch. Had a lot of movement to the inside. Pitch is up and out. 2-0.
Quick score update on the 3A side. Grand 5, Morgan 0.
Wow. Now Morgan, what is the seeds on those?
I'll find out.
Strike 1.
Grand seeded number 9. Morgan number 7.
So an upset brewing on the 3A side. There's a pitch, going to be hit to the shortstop, fielded cleanly. Cross court throw is in time. What a beautiful pickup by the shortstop, Jesse Reedhead.
I love the cross court throws.
I know. I was
They're
hoping.
Really great.
I was hoping
cross
you wouldn't.
Field throw.
I was hoping you wouldn't even say anything, but cross
Still
court.
In basketball mode.
I know. So stepping up to the free throw line now is Kenley Duncan. At the plate is Duncan. 1 for 2. Hit a nice shot to left field in the first at bat. Here's another left field up. It looks like it might be in the gap. Can they get there? They cannot. Janes unable to quite get there. Another single. That's about what happened in the first inning. So another single for Kenley Duncan, and she keeps her team Moving on.
It had some altitude there. It just dropped quick. Jane's unable to read that quick enough.
It was close. So runner on first, 2 down. Oakley Foy is 1 for 2. Hit a single last time up. Did the corner get caught? It did. Strike 1. Watched Foy put one out left center a little bit earlier today. Home run would keep this game going for Oakley Foy. Wow, she turned on that. Foy.
Quick turn.
Yeah, it was a quick turn.
Great adjustment. Just, line it up. And
yeah, Foy bats .455. And Oakley is a senior. So she'd like to keep this going for another couple games. Going to be fouled back into people over the screen. That'll be strike 2. 0-2 the count to Oakley Foy. That's trouble, as now you have a pitcher's count for Riley Staton. Here's the pitch, and looks good, and there's Foy. She knocks up the third base line. Got Duncan coming around to third base, so Foy with a single, and now runners at the corners.
Great rip out there to left field.
Yep.
Just in no man's land, basically. They got to chase that down.
So this is 10 back in the game. So she did take off the sweatshirt, so I think it's Riley Norton. I think it was Riley Norton last time who hit the double, but hard to say. We don't get an update on who comes in and out. So here's Norton back in the game for Altamont. Fouled off, strike 1. Again, runners at the corners. They did do a speed-up runner for Foy. So the 0-1 count coming to Norton. Norton hits a nice base hit. There's 1 run scored. They only need 1 more to stay in this one. And Kanab, there might be a pickle coming, and it's going to be out. So that's out number 3 as they tried to extend just a little bit. Couldn't quite make it. And that'll be the ball game as the Kanab Cowboys and defeat the Altamont Longhorns 15-5. And that one could have easily gone another inning.
Yep, very easily. They caught her right there between second and third. She thought she could squeeze through and get in a little bit better position, but unable to do it.
So coming up here shortly, it will be the Kanab Cowboys taking on the winner of Gunnison and North Sevier. And we'll let you know what's going to happen there. There's also the other game that's going to be played is going to be Millard. Not Millard. I don't know who it is. So it's going to be Millard and South Sevier.
South Sevier.
So Millard, South Sevier coming up, and Kanab. And right now it looks like to be Gunnison. So we'll have all that coming up on Centricom Channel 10.
JN Auto loves our customers and our community, so we have sanitized our entire inventory. Mold, germs, and yes, coronavirus are eradicated. Our all-natural treatment is safe for you, your pets, and anyone you take along in your new ride. After 6 months, stop by and we can get you rolling germ-free again. Treatments are offered in a single application or a 1, 3, or 5-year contract. Stop by your local JN Auto location to learn more about our sanitizing options.
The Beaver Medical Clinic has built a reputation of providing compassionate health care for residents of Beaver and Iron counties. You'll appreciate the professional services of Drs. B. Noel Robinson, Roger Smith, Wade Oakton, Lance Smith, physician's assistants Reagan Fales, Travis Hicks, and Kenneth Hussey, and nurse practitioners Robin Horton, Lindsay Cheney, Rebecca Rasmussen, and Wade Hollingshead. The Beaver Medical Clinic offers affordable health care and convenient payment options, with offices in Beaver, Milford, and Parowan.
The Intermountain Power Service Corporation is committed to supporting our local schools, communities, and the economies of central and south central Utah. Each year, IPSC's 2 950-megawatt generating units provide 3 million megawatt hours of energy for communities in Utah and Southern California. The Intermountain Power Project ranks among the best of coal-based power plants in reliability, cost-effectiveness, and environmental responsibility. IPSC, honored to sponsor this sports broadcast.
At Auto Farm Price Ford, we make it happen for you.
Auto Farm Price Ford has your next truck at the guaranteed lowest price. Auto Farm will not be undersold. The time to buy is now. Auto Farm has a huge selection. If you're in the market for a new or pre-owned Ford F-Series, including the unbeatable F-150, no one has more than Auto Farm. Find more great offers and all their inventory online at PriceFordSales.com.
At Auto Farm Price Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, we make it happen for you.
At Central Valley Medical Center, we're committed to offering the best care.
In your life's first moments.
Through your life's biggest emergencies.
In your everyday help.
In those days that mean the most.
Central Valley Medical Center will be there with you through each step and stage of life, bringing the best care because we care, closer to home.
Jones & DeMille Engineering is more than a civil engineering firm. They're shaping new opportunities for work and play, shaping the landscape in the rural Intermountain West, and shaping the communities that they're proud to be a part of. Their offices in Richfield, Manti, Price, St. George, Monticello, Springville, Roosevelt, and Tooele provide civil and structural engineering, construction management, surveys and GIS mapping, and material testing. Jones & DeMille Engineering, shaping the quality of life.
Nephi Federal Credit Union in Nephi offers convenient service and a variety of financial services. They're your hometown credit union that's been serving local residents for over 63 years, longer than any other financial institution in Nephi. The staff invites you to check out their incredible rates on a variety of loans and savings accounts. Nephi Federal Credit Union, 155 North Main in Nephi. Call 623-1895. That's 623-1895. Nephi Federal Credit Union, proud supporter of the Wasps this season.
Maybe he landed here totally by coincidence. But if by chance he's admiring your fresh coat of Benjamin Moore soft sky blue, well, that's a pretty high compliment. Coming from an expert.
Sanpete Steel in Moroni was founded in 1994 and is one of the major steel construction companies in the Intermountain West, specializing in structural steel fabrication and erection. Sanpete Steel's impressive portfolio includes the Hale Theater in Sandy and structures on the campuses of the University of Utah, BYU, and UVU. Sanpete Steel in Moroni, where their motto is done right and on time, at 685 East Main in Moroni. Call 800-261-1026, 800-261-1026, or sanpetesteel.com. Beaver Valley Hospital continues to offer high-quality health care at the state's lowest price. Beaver Valley Hospital has state-of-the-art laboratory and radiology services, including cutting-edge X-ray and 3D ultrasound. The hospital also provides expanded surgical procedures for orthopedics and laparoscopic hysterectomy. Remodeled patient rooms and long-term care facilities combine with compassionate staff to provide our patients a comfortable and healing environment. Beaver Valley Hospital is a proud community supporter and is pleased to sponsor Beaver High School.
Castle Valley Orthodontics specializes in state-of-the-art digital radiographs and 3D dental models. It also offers interest-free payment plans starting as low as $99 a month. Castle Valley Orthodontics will be there with you from beginning to end.
Hi, I'm Dr. Dan Cowley with Castle Valley Orthodontics. Born and raised here in Carbon-Emery County, been able to move back home. Looking forward to meeting everybody at Carbon-Emery County coming in to see us.
Vince Lombardi once said, "The measure of who we are is what we do with what we have." The quote rings true whether applied to our country, our schools, our homes, or on the field of play. We applaud our student athletes for their hard work and determination on the field and in the classroom. Brought to you by Sunrise Engineering, promoting excellence in sports and education. Visit us at sunrise-eng.com. That's sunrise-eng.com.
I'm Dr. Sorensen. I'm a board-certified pediatrician, and I'm the newest addition to the team of doctors here at Central Valley Medical Center. My goal is to work closely with you when making decisions about your child's health. After all, you know them better than anyone else.
I think as a mom, it can be really overwhelming to find a doctor who's a really good fit for your family.